raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you tip?
I do.
Okay, you may take the stand.
Good afternoon. Can you please state your name for the jury?
Dr. Sandy Lowe.
Mr. Lowe, excuse me, Dr. Lowe, where did you attend college?
I got my bachelor's degree from the University of Wisconsin, and I got my PhD from there as well.
And what experience do you have in the field of chemistry?
Well, for a while I did work as a visiting professor. I visited universities such as the University of Cambridge and the University of California, Berkeley.
How long have you been teaching at elite preparatory high school?
Well, it's hard to tell. I mean, I have so much fun teaching chemistry. The years just mesh by and just go so fast, but I think it's been 8 years.
Now let me direct your attention to the case at hand. Do you know Terry Hayes?
Yes, I met her when she was in 7th grade. She was taking the ACT for some program, TIP I think it was. Well, anyway, she scored very high in the ACT science section. Higher than most juniors and seniors.
Could you identify her in court today?
Oh, she's over there wearing the blue sweatshirt with the letters that I can't tell because she's pressing the cards.
Let the record reflect that the witness has correctly identified the defendant.
The record will so reflect.
Can you tell me a little bit about Terry's typical behavior in class?
Well, she kind of stays to herself. She always has her face in a book, usually a science book, and she's kind of to herself, kind of shy and awkward. She's a science geek, but is that such a bad thing?
And how does Terry interact with the other kids at school?
Well, like I said before, she kind of keeps to herself. She always seems to have a book in her hand. I mean, she just walks in, she's always reading and always learning more about chemistry. I mean, remember, she has a great knowledge of chemistry. I remember one time she made this presentation for me that was so great. It was about the viscosity of molecules. It was just so amazing.
All right, Dr. Lowe, let me direct your attention to the next question. It's okay. Now, did you give Terry Hayes an after-school job?
Yes. She didn't have as much money as the other kids at elite preparatory school because she's only going on a scholarship. So I gave her a job that she liked to do, just to kind of bridge just a little bit the financial gap.
What did she do as a part of that job?
She gets chemicals for me. She organizes them for me. She sets up equipment, things that I can't normally do. I recognize my limitations because, you know, I'm pretty old. I'm getting close to 50 now.
You mentioned organizing. What did Terry organize?
She would organize all the chemicals in the lab. She would organize them by periodic table or alphabetical order, basically whatever she wanted. She organized them at least once a week. I think she might have a mild case of OCD.
Objection. Lack of personal knowledge. How do you know that she has OCD?
I said she might have a mild case. She acts like it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have memory problems. I'm sorry. I forget that the attorney has to answer.
Your Honor, the witness is answering based on his perception, his 5 senses, and based on the fact that he sees Terry organizing things often, he can be of the opinion that she might have a mild case of OCD.
Your Honor, the witness has no knowledge of the defendant's mental state of mind at the time, so therefore this should not be included in the answer. There's a lack of personal knowledge.
I'll overrule the objection because the witness is relying on observation of and personal knowledge in that sense, and I don't think that witness is actually commenting on mental state, but be careful on wording.
Thank you. So, as a part of that organizing, would Terry's fingerprints be likely to be on maybe the cabinet or those bottles that she organized?
Yes, like I told you before, she would organize the bottles at least once a week, so she would always have her fingerprints all over everything, organizing bottles and just putting them where she could, just put them where I told her to, so she would sometimes organize by periodic table and stuff.
All right. Did you trust Terry?
Oh, yes, 100%. She's very humble. She doesn't ever brag. She's very responsible. I remember one time she just blew me away with her humbleness. She scored 100% on a test that everybody else got C's or lower, but she still didn't brag about anything.
All right. Now, let me direct you to other students. Did you ever see any other students in the lab after school in the year 2009?
Oh, yes, there was one student I saw in there by the name of Austin Taylor.
And what was Miss Taylor doing in the lab?
Well, she was rummaging around looking for something. I caught up to her and I looked at her and she seemed very suspicious. And when I looked at her, it seemed that I'd caught her off guard.
Did you ever see Miss Taylor anywhere else?
Well, of course, she's a student at Elite. I always saw her around the hallways in my class, but there was one time, though, that stands out to me.
And what stands out to you about that particular time?
Duke had played a really cruel prank on Austin.
What was the prank?
Well, Duke told Austin that Austin's father had died under suspicious circumstances. Austin immediately became red and just fell to the ground, unable to speak.
What did Duke do next?
Well, Duke just laughed at Austin for being a crybaby, like just called her just very wimpy and.
Objection, relevance. I did not see how this hearsay. I did not see the witness is not the declarant of Duke's statements. Therefore, he cannot testify. And since Duke cannot testify in front of us that he said those things, what the witness is saying is hearsay.
Can I have a moment to confirm with your counsel? Your Honor, this statement is effect on the listener. It is not being used to prove the truth of the matter asserted.
I'll overrule the objection.
So, may I answer the question?
Of course. How did Austin react to Duke's statement prank?
Well, Austin became red in the face. She immediately just fell to the floor and able to speak. Duke just started laughing at her for falling for his small joke, and he just started calling her just wimpy.
All right, objection. Hearsay. Duke is not able to testify, so therefore we do not know if he really called Austin Taylor those things. The witness was not the declarant, so therefore he cannot testify on behalf of Duke Kenilworth. It has no effect on the listener.
Your Honor, it does have an effect on the listener. And my response is the same as the last objection.
I'll overrule the objection.
So, can I continue for the third time? I'm kind of old. I don't have much time here.
Yes.
Okay, so as you know already, Austin got red, fell down, couldn't speak. So then Duke just started calling Austin names and saying how wimpy she was. When Austin got really mad.
Did Austin say anything suspicious at this time?
Well, she said, that's for the last time you play one of your cruel jokes on me. You'll get what's coming to you one day. Just wait and see.
No further questions at this time, Your Honor.
Ross?